Okay, here's an exercise that I like to have people that are new on guitar start to work on when we're starting to develop the single note aspect of playing guitar, whether that be scales or solos or what have you. Uh, this is kind of the next step beyond your basic strum patterns, this sort of thing. And so what we're going to do is to assign one finger per fret. Okay, so we'll be covering 4 frets with our 4 fingers on our left hand here, and basically we'll be ascending a scale, a chromatic scale with a couple of skips. And the disadvantage of this particular exercise is that it doesn't sound much like music. It sounds like an exercise. But the advantage of the exercise is that it gives all 4 of your fingers equal practice, and it gets you a little more coordinated with the right hand just staying on one string rather than strumming all of the strings or some of the strings. Okay, so the basic idea here is that we'll start on the lowest string, and I mean lowest in pitch, the one that's closest to your nose, but I call it the lowest string because it's lowest in pitch, and that's the E string. And we're going to start on the note F, which is the first fret, and we're going to use our first finger. Then we're going to go to get F sharp, which is our second finger. We're going to go to G, which is our third finger, and then G sharp. So it goes like this. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and move up a string, and by up I mean up in pitch, so closer to your toes. This is the A string, and we're going to play first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, just like we did on the 6th string. So that will sound like this. We're going to repeat that process for the next string up, the D string, so that will sound like this. Repeat the process on that next higher string. Same process on the next string. And then finally on the highest string. So that's what the exercise basically looks like. Now, if you're not used to picking out individual notes, the right hand, you can definitely stabilize yourself a lot better. Watch what happens when I just have my hand kind of floating free, my right hand kind of floating free here. It's a little tough, and I have to pay a lot of attention to that right hand because it's, excuse me, it's kind of floating free above the strings. So a very handy way to kind of get your hand anchored and to know exactly where you are on which string you're picking on is to develop the habit of anchoring on your right hand, either just your 4th finger or your 4th, 3rd finger, or 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. You will notice that when you see some really top-notch guitar players playing solos and individual notes, you're going to see this hand technique pretty much on close to 100% of them. There are very few that don't use this technique. Some players, like myself, will sort of modify that occasionally and will just kind of latch on to that first string for a little bit of anchoring. So watch the difference now when I play that same exercise with my hand, with my right hand anchored, so that I don't have to think about it so much, and that pick kind of automatically has an idea of where to go. And you may notice that I have, when I get to the top, to the higher strings, I kind of take my hand off of that first string. And again, I'm not saying that that's the way that is the best. That's just the way that's most comfortable for me. So the thing then to do to kind of keep this exercise going is to go all the way up. And then all the way back down. Okay. Then to continue, move everything up one fret so that that first finger, instead of being on the first fret, is on the second fret. So now it's... Move it up again. Etc., etc. Go as far up on the neck as you can, that, you know, where as is comfortable. And also, you know, once your hand starts wearing out, yeah, go ahead and give yourself a break. Now, excuse me, allergies. The other thing to start thinking about after you have become more comfortable with doing this, usually I would start people out doing all down picking. So once you get really comfortable with that, the next thing to start working in is to do alternate picking on the right hand. So you're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, alternatively. So that looks, and the left hand does the same thing, but that right hand now starts to look like this. Down, up, 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 down, up. So that will that exercise will get you a long way towards finger independence on your left hand, finger coordination or hand coordination between your left and right hands, and you know, getting your right hand kind of anchored so that you don't need to think quite so much about where your pick is. You can just basically let your hand, you know, grow a little brain that knows where your hand is, just because you've got your hand anchored on the guitar or around the string. Either way is absolutely fine. But again, it's an exercise that doesn't sound, it's not melodic at all. It doesn't sound anything like music, but it's a terrific exercise. And I guarantee you that I use this, or a modification of this, I should say, every time that I do my daily warm-up exercises. It is my first exercise always, and it really gets my hands warmed up nicely. Okay, thanks for watching.